Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Marketing Podcast by Agent Sauce. I'm Adam Small, and with me, as always, is Doug Carr of DK New Media.
How are you,
doing?
sir?
Doing good today. How about you?
Fantastic.
Great. So today I figured we would talk about video marketing. Nothing like doing an audio podcast and talking about video marketing, I thought.
Exactly.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
I was built for podcasting myself, but
Got a face made for radio.
that's the one.
Exactly. You know, video is really catching on. There's a lot going on. Marketing wise, it's gotten a lot easier these days to do. And, you know, with channels like YouTube out there,
Yeah.
venues like YouTube, I should say, where, you know, there's just millions and millions of people going to it every single day. There's just a huge opportunity in video marketing, I think, for real estate agents.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so too.
So, I figure we just kind of cover, you know, some tips and tricks, good things to do with video, and even step outside the norm. You know, a lot of real estate agents, when they think video, their first thought is, oh, make a listing video where you walk through the house, right? But I think there are a lot more things that could be done with video for real estate than just walking through a house and showing the house on your video camera.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you know, video like everything else, you know, social and even voice like a podcast is all about introducing the human side of somebody. And so video is, you know, you're seeing the person and you're going to instantly get a feeling of whether you want to work with them or not.
Right.
And so you want to impress them from that standpoint, right? You don't want
Right.
to be, you know, maybe too goofy or too professional.
Too
or,
serious.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just bland.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like you are most of the time.
Wow. Why I'm not on video,
Well,
listeners.
That's true. That's true. But seriously, you know, you're right. It's a great opportunity to give somebody an insight into who you are
Yeah.
as a person. You know, they get a feel for you and your personality, that sort of thing. You know, because so much of what we do is in fact visual in nature.
Yeah.
So I think that to kick off the ideas, I think that one of them would be for real estate agents to use video when they're out doing a review of a place. You know, if they're doing a local review of a restaurant or a park or a venue of some sort, I think video would be a great add-on to that, so that when they go home and they write their blog posts about it, you know, they can actually include the video in the blog post, as well as put it out on channels like YouTube, that sort of thing. So it could be a great tool for helping people establish themselves as that local expert.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so not only from a venue perspective, but even around neighborhoods and that sort of thing. So
Yeah, because that's how I think when homeowners are, you know, you can go look at the house. You're going to go do a tour of the house, everything else. And,
right.
And it's not that it's bad to have a video tour of the house either.
No.
But like you said, you know, some of the questions that people are going to have is, how is the school district? Is there, what churches are nearby? What restaurants are nearby? And so
stores,
Yeah.
you know, amenities and that sort
So
of
if
thing.
you can show that expertise that, hey, this is in the such and such neighborhood. I've got 3 houses over here that are for sale, and you're going to want to stop by this, you know, brew house or something like that.
Exactly. So, what about you? What's another way that agents could use video?
Well, I think again, it's all about the personality of the person, and whether you want to work with them or not. And so the ones that I tend to like is, you know, that where you can make that known to the viewer. And so it might be an interview with a homeowner or something, and, you know, or a new buyer, you know, congratulations, you know, on your what was it like working with me, you know, and
Right, so testimonial type stuff, or
Yeah,
not really testimonial per
interview-
se, but interview based,
interview style, you know, so was I too pushy? Was I too, you know, so get people to trust you is what you want. And you're going to see that sincerity come through on either the buyer or the seller's side.
Right.
You know, they're going to say, no, man, you know, one thing that I love that you did was X, Y, and Z. And now you're going to be, you know, someone is going to sit across from that video screen and go, man, I like this person. I want to work with this person.
Right. What about maybe interviewing local business owners and stuff like that too?
Yeah, like you said before, understanding the local scene, I think, is really critical. That you know, the other one too is I think a lot of real estate agents have expertise with certain groups. And so
Right.
sometimes it's businesses that are bringing moving executives into town.
Relocation
Yeah,
stuff is
relocation
one.
or
First-time home buyers is
first-time
another.
home buyers.
And then another one that I see a lot is HUD, which is Housing
Yeah.
Urban Development. HUD
and
homes.
and so doing some videos about that, I think, is really important.
So videos showcasing your technical expertise in those
yeah,
niche areas is what you're talking
yeah,
about there,
absolutely.
right? Cool, very cool. So, so probably one of the biggest challenges I think for real estate agents and one of their biggest fears, right, is making a video that looks bad.
Yeah.
So, what does it take to really make a video?
Well, nowadays, from a video standpoint, the actual visual standpoint, phones are just so amazing. Whether you have a 2-year-old Android or iPhone,
It really doesn't matter,
it's
does
gonna
it?
do
Because they're just as good as anything else out there.
It's going to do amazing video. The one problem that I continue to see with people is audio, though.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple of things, one thing that I see is people will stand with a wall right behind them. And so they don't get any depth, of field, to people
For the video itself.
Yeah, people are focused on the wall and
Right.
not on the person. And so
Right.
so stand up, like, we have a wall that's probably 8 feet away from us right now.
Right.
So if we're doing it, are we doing a video?
We're not doing a video at the moment. I probably should have started the video, but I decided at the last minute that I was going to run out of space on my phone.
But if we were doing a video right now, that would be great because the background is far away, so people are focused on us.
Right. We're the center of attention.
Yeah, exactly. Then the second thing, which is the biggest, is audio. And that's that I tend to see people, they go, I'm going to go to a quiet place. So they go to a small room, like a bathroom or a small bedroom.
And it becomes an echo chamber.
And it echoes, and it's terrible to listen to. You have to
Right.
turn it off.
Right.
And so my second thing is spend $20 to $50 and get a good lavalier mic.
Mm-hmm.
You can get them wired, and they'll plug right into your phone.
Right.
And that's going to cut down the echoes just a ton.
Right.
Rather than using the mic on top of your camera.
Right.
Then you can set up a tripod a little bit of a ways away. You can have your lavalier mic, and if you're in an open room, you're not going to get as much reverberation. Go to a living room with sofas and things like that are a lot of surfaces and a lot of surface areas to bounce the sound waves off of.
Right. The another thing you can do with that, lavalier mics are great. You can also buy like mini shotgun mics that'll go right on top of your camera.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
Or on top of your phone, I mean to say.
But you got to be careful with shotgun mics on reverberation.
You do have to be careful with
yeah.
that, but most of those are directional. So if you point it right at you, you're going to end up with a much better quality of audio than you would if you're just using your phone.
I would not
microphone.
just use a phone
right.
mic. Yeah.
So you've got maybe a $50 investment,
maybe
at most. If you wanted to step out there and use an external microphone,
I'd
and a lot
say,
of them are $20.
Yeah, I'd say the cheapest lavalier wired mic that you can find is still going to be better than the mic that you're going to use on your phone.
Right. So an investment $20 to $50, and you're going to end up with really good audio. And it's funny, we know it's video. I understand it's video, but one of the key components of that video and one of the most important things is, in fact, the quality of that audio. You can have poor video, it can be overwashed, washed out from color and all that stuff. But if you have good audio, people are still going to watch it and listen to it. I totally
agree.
So want to make sure that you have good audio quality.
Yeah, and stay out of the wind.
Yes,
we don't want to hear wind in your microphone.
That's for sure.
Unless it's like someone tripping downstairs or something, then it's a funny video.
What's the legal disclaimer on that? What do we say? We're not responsible for you tripping and falling downstairs. So post it to YouTube though. Everybody get a good laugh. So. All right, Doug. So that's kind of the low end easy stuff, right? And so far as equipment goes, and you can always step up into the higher end stuff with a DSLR and wireless lavalier mics.
You can spend
and
a
all
fortune.
that. You absolutely can, but you really don't need to. Any other tips, tricks, ideas for video?
Well, I would say if you're going to do a live video, please think about what you're going to say and say it concisely. Say it with as few words as possible. I tend to see people meander when they get on a, hey guys, hey, I just, one of the things that was on my mind today was, no, just get straight to the point.
Right. So you're talking about like Facebook Live or YouTube Live.
Yeah.
If you're live
people aren't going to
streaming.
hang around. And so capture them, say, I would say, start the video and say, hey, everybody, thanks for joining. My client had a question about X, and I wanted to answer that today. Here's the answer. Thanks, everybody. See you next week. Please subscribe.
Right. And
that's it.
Getting short to the point and
don't
conveying
repeat
that
it.
message.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you get nervous when you're live and that sort of thing, and you end up repeating it quite a bit.
Yeah, and
if you're not careful. So preparation is really what you're saying.
That's exactly it. Preparation and then execution. And the reason why that's so important is, sure, on your first video you might get 83 people watching it or whatever, but nobody's going to subscribe. And then when people see your videos playing, they're going to go, oh, I remember that last video where he just
went
talked
on
forever
and on.
ever,
Yeah,
and they're not going to watch it, and that's what happens. And so you've got to have that brevity and that that excitement, and just punch it home, get on, get off, and move on.
Right. So short and sweet, right? Nothing more, nothing extraneous, nothing more than you absolutely need. So,
yeah,
great, very good. From my perspective, I think another area where agents could do more with video would be that technical stuff that you were just talking about. My client had a question about X, right?
Yeah.
And really that could be a whole series of videos, because it's just ask the realtor the question, kind of ask the realtor sort of thing, and they do it and they say it and they get that answer out there, and then they end the video, right? So the value in that is that you're establishing a lot of technical expertise, a lot of, hey, not only do I know my area, but I also know my industry. I know that if you're, buying a home in South Carolina, you're probably going to need an attorney involved in the transfer of those deeds.
Yeah.
If you're, out in Hawaii, there are special rules and regulations around owning property if you're not actually a native Hawaiian and that sort of thing,
Right.
So putting those out there will help define you as a resource to go to when somebody says, hey, I got a real question about this, because maybe you've got wetlands or you've got protected lands or whatever it may be. So I think that that's another great opportunity where it's just a short question, a short answer, 3-4 minutes long, and you just put that into your library, put it up on your site, and let people, come and see it whenever they're looking for that answer.
Yep.
So, all right, Doug, any other suggestions?
I think the only other one, and you just brought it to mind with that, was again, showing your expertise is, how do you sell a home and maximize the value? And I know a lot of real estate agents, they know about like bringing in temporary furniture. What's that called? Staging. Doing things to the outside of the house.
Right.
Colors of paint.
Curb appeal.
That there's really inexpensive ways to increase the value of your home, and so stuff like that is going to be really, I live in a house built in the 1970s,
right?
So I would want a real estate agent to say, we could really maximize the price of your home, but you should put in, flower gardens, this, that, and the other thing, and that's the cheapest way you can increase the value,
right?
And so tips like that, again, they're, the listener or the watcher is going to go, wow, that's exactly the problem that I was worried about. Was I don't have the money to go get new brickwork on my house,
Right, but I could still make the curb appeal a lot
Right.
better just by throwing that garden in there or whatever it may be, that flower bed, right?
Yeah, and so I think stuff like that, and those tips don't hurt a real estate agent, right?
Right.
They're just going to make you look better as a real estate agent.
It's going to make them a resource, a valued resource.
Right.
So, and that's actually a really good point. I remember when I was selling my first home. Now, this was in the 2008 time period, right? So nothing was selling at that point in time because everything was tanking. It sat on the market for about a year, maybe even a year and a half, and empty. And, I was talking to the real estate agent. I was like, dude, you got to help me out here. I got to get rid of this thing because I've been paying for it and living somewhere else. And finally, he says, well, maybe if you painted the outside of it, right, that might work. And I shouldn't put it all on him, and I don't mean to, because I think he actually suggested that pretty early on, and I was resistant to it. So finally, I broke down, and I went and I actually painted it myself, and sanded it and painted it, and it took me a weekend to get it all done. And then 2 weeks later, we had an offer on the place.
There you go. Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where the listener has to be accepting of it too,
Right.
because that is their area
But that would
of
be
expertise
that
and
would
knowledge.
be a great story for that real estate agent. Let me tell you a story about a guy in the middle of the
Right.
He was really resistant to painting it, and it sat on the market for a year and a half. We
Right.
painted it. 2 weeks later, it was sold.
So
Man, that's an amazing video right there.
exactly,
Yeah.
and you know what? That's actually another genre of video that they could use. Is not only the tips and tricks or whatever, but also the
The case studies.
case study.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was really glad to get rid of it, and I kicked myself for not painting it much earlier. That's for sure. So all right, great. Well, from my perspective, I don't have anything else to add. I think this has been a great discussion on photography for real estate, or video for real estate. How about you, Doug? Any final thoughts?
No, I think you nailed it. The great thing is it's affordable.
Right.
That's the great thing. You don't have to pay to put them on YouTube. You don't have to pay to put them on Facebook. You don't have to. You have a video camera right in your hand right now.
At all times and
Yeah.
more, right?
So everything that you need, you basically have to do this. And so, go watch some tips on YouTube, and you'll be great at it.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, thanks for listening. We appreciate it. If you like what you hear, don't forget to subscribe to us or like us. If you want to learn more, you can check us out at agentsauce.com. Thanks, and have a great day.